right. Amazing people. Let's have some fun. Dismantle some beliefs and amplify the new 5D Earth timelines. Gonna wait for a couple people to come on. All right. Is everybody excited? So much good stuff happening right now. Going to talk about it. And if you don't feel like there's great stuff happening, and hey, Grant, great to see you. Hey, Sandra. And you may be feeling any challenges right now, which is understandable. And whatever you're feeling is what you're feeling. The key is to have the awareness to tune in to your frequency from moment to moment and go, okay, I'm triggered. I'm feeling shitty. I feel great. I woke up and I'm creating my reality first thing in the morning while I'm laying on the pillow, and I'm loving on my body and I'm smiling and my frequency's going up. And I know that's the state to be in that manifests the timelines that I desire to magnetize into my reality. Because I know, or at least I've tested it out, or I'm open to the possibility or the fact that I am a walking, talking, vibrating magnet of attraction. And this whole reality that I chose to come down into, keyword chose, is all set up to create anything that I desire, that I set my intention and my focus on. It's so cool when you figure it out. And it doesn't mean that there won't ever be a challenge or a trigger or anything else, because apparently that's built into the soul, the evolutionary process, to where if you get stagnant or stuck or start to focus on that which you really don't desire to see more of, like judgments, triggers, pointing out everything that's wrong, being distracted, the soul will tap on your shoulder gently, or maybe it'll be a big punch, kick, reaction to get your attention again. So when we finally tune into this and figure out that everything is actually working in our favor, no matter, key here, no matter what it looks like out there on the 3D hologram, because the 3D hologram is reversed 180 degrees. And so many people think that out there, they get triggered, and that's how they're controlling everybody. Right now, you can see it. It's the next monkeypox, dogpox, frogpox, whatever. It's just right down the line. They just, well, we're going to plug this in. Now this isn't working. You just see it. And so you go, oh, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And then you process feelings like maybe you're upset that they're harming good people, harming children, harming the planet. I get it. However, zoom out, take a breath, and use your conscious awareness to go, okay. If I focus on that, then I give it my energy. But right now in this moment, I could just as easily with my awareness focus on the miracles that are surrounding me everywhere. My heart's beating, my blood's being purified, trillions of functions are happening in my body. My body is serving me and loving on me. Mother Earth is loving on us unconditionally, pouring forth incredible plants, flowers, trees, air, clouds, food, water. I mean, it's all a choice, people. And you can observe people that are happy and they're focusing on, they're being aware of what they are choosing to set their focus, intention, and reality on. Instead of complaining and being a judgeaholic like I used to be, because I thought that's how we fixed everything. No. We're walking, talking, vibrating magnets. So we're going to get into some of this stuff. Hey, Paul, great to see you. All right. Yeah. Not even really fuck it, because, I mean, that's an initial reaction, but just isn't that interesting? That way we're not in reaction. We're just like, oh, that's interesting. We're in a state of 0 point. And that's the really clean state to be in. So we're not holding any judgment or resentment towards the outside. And we all do it. It's just practice. It's just practice. So yeah, hey, Sandra, we're here. We came here to do this. So, I don't know if I'm a rainbow warrior. I know nothing. That's one of my most powerful mantras. I know nothing. I just follow my intuition and I follow the highest frequency of love, excitement, joy, and gratitude. And I rinse and I repeat that. And it works for me. If it works for you, great. If something else works for you, great. We're just talking about creating our reality here. What seems to work and what doesn't. So this is a Q&A as well. So if anybody has any questions, for any that have been on here before, yeah, brother, and I'm just reminding myself in every moment, because I'm a fuck that guy too. Sorry, Mom. My mom doesn't really watch these because she thinks I'm crazy, even though she loves me, but it's okay. So yeah, really neutral, because when we're triggered, that means we're still running that program of resistance. And so I'm glad that you didn't take that in any, like I was judging you or singling you out, because I'm the same guy. It's just that I go, no, if I'm reacting like that, then I'm triggered. So now I'm back down into playing their game on their level. But when I'm in, isn't that interesting? Oh, now I'm in 0 point. And that means, I'm not being triggered either way. I'm in a position of empowerment from the heart. So yeah, cool. Oh, God bless you. I love you. I love seeing this stuff, because this is what these tools did for me. And it took me a long time to put them into practice, which is why I love sharing this stuff, because you practice these tools for 30 days and it will completely shift the way you see and manifest your entire reality. And yeah, it takes practice. You may still get triggered. You may still go into a judgment, but you'll be able to feel it. And once somebody can see how this program runs, how the ego gets triggered, how it was taught to judge, that was all handed down from our parents, our grandparents, their programs, the media, the school system, which is completely brainwashing, teaches you what to think instead of how to think, completely squashes a child's imagination, sucks you into going to school for 12 to 16 to 20 years. So then you can give up the next 65, the best years of your life, hoping that someday you can become retired. That's another spell word, to recycle, tired, you know what it means? Okay, so we're seeing all this, and we're like, all right, isn't that interesting? We came here to shift this entire thing, and it's happening. So, are you excited? Even if you have some challenges going on, or even if you're getting triggered, our thoughts, our words, our imagination, our beliefs, and then the emotional frequency that we put behind that are the magnets to attract the timelines that we desire. It's so simple. It's so simple. And that's why the 3D matrix is set up to distract, be in resistance. Republicans versus Democrats. Everything is resistance, fear, and let us grab your attention. Let us pull you down. So it's pretty simple. once you figure it out. And then we're like, why can't all the other people see it? Well, maybe it's not part of their soul journey this time. Maybe they don't even exist. And maybe they're just a mirror to test us to see if we're going to judge them or if we're just going to go, everything's perfect. Everything's perfect. I know nothing. All I know is my frequency is the most important thing. That's what's attracting or repelling abundance or, things into my reality. So I'm going to focus on the higher timelines. I'm going to wake up every single morning. I'm going to immediately breathe, give love to all these trillions of cells that have been loving on me unconditionally since I've been in the womb. Get grateful, get excited. And if I wake up and I've had some weird dreams or my mind starts running, I use my breath to notice it and to stop it and to drop down into my heart. This is the magnet. It's 1,000,000 times more powerful than this. This is just a center that runs beliefs and thoughts and programs. And it's not a bad thing, but the heart is where it's at. And so, I just come on and remind myself of this stuff over and over and over because it's part of what I do. It changed my life. And the people that reach out to me and the people that go through the 30-day course and get the book or do the digital online course, they're like, this changed my life. And I'm like, I know. Stuff works. And I'm just so glad I met my teacher. Well, everybody's my teacher, but that I met my main mentor in San Diego in 2001, Don Miguel Ruiz. And he didn't even teach me all the stuff that's in the book. And there's really only 3 pieces. It's really simple. But what he did get me to see, which changed everything, was 1 month when we went to the 3-day dreaming weekends, he's like, your homework is going to be to write down all of your beliefs and where they came from. And I didn't like journaling because my handwriting's sloppy because my mind works way faster than my hand. But I'm like, all right, it's Don Miguel Ruiz. He knows what he's talking about. I'm going to do it. So I start writing down all my beliefs and I'm like, none of these are mine. None of my beliefs are mine. They all came from outside myself, every single one. My mom, my grandparents, the school system. I was tossed into private Catholic schools where it was judgment day every single day. All pissed off, angry nuns. I was an altar boy in church until 9th grade. All kinds of guilt programs and bullshit and shame and kneel before the altar of the crucified Jesus and put your money in the basket hoping he's going to throw you a bone or whatever. You see this stuff, okay? It's all right. I chose that as part of my soul contract so I could see the program. It was all part of my soul contract. And everything you're experiencing is part of your soul contract. And that can trigger some people. Because back when I was in my late 20s and 30s, I was like, there's no way I would have chosen to come down here and go through this much pain and suffering. There's no way. And, many of you may know from my lives, in my sharing of my honest, evolving or whatever, that, I was suicidal several times in my late 20s and 30s. I was like, this sucks and I'm out of here. And luckily I didn't do it because I didn't want to hurt my mom or anybody else. I wasn't really worried about myself. I was in so much pain. I was like, I'm out. If this is what it is, I'm out. So luckily I didn't do it. I met an incredible teacher and I realized my belief system is not even mine. Nobody's belief system is even theirs. And yet the 3D matrix is set up to trigger everybody. This is wrong. That's wrong. Everything's wrong. That's what I was doing. I thought that's how we fixed it. You got to point it out if you're going to fix it. That's not the key. We can expose things. We can take action to fix things. But if we're triggered, then we're vibrating at a low level and we're stuck in 3D. So why some people can go out and be very aware and they can take on the pedophiles and the bad people in government and they can navigate through it from a place of empowerment. Other people aren't cut out to do that. So it's maybe best that they don't do that. Any questions around anything? Anybody having any challenges? Anybody have any questions around the tools in the book or the course? Anybody have any questions around manifestation? And I may not know the answer. I don't know everything. I know nothing. but I do understand frequency. I do understand how beliefs work. I do understand how getting excited about that which we are creating and manifesting, and super key, seeing it is already here now. It's already here now. You basically got to trick the mind that goes, well, it's in the future, or it's not here, it's difficult. That's all bullshit. Those are all 3D programs that were imprinted into our minds from those that created the 3D deceptions. The school system, the medical system, history, it's 99% of it's a lie. And so when you finally wake up to that, after you're done getting pissed off, you go, all right, so what are the keys to manifesting my ideal reality? And they are your thoughts, your words, your beliefs, your imagination, super key. That's why kids are unlimited before they get squashed in school. But that's all changing right now. You can see it. It's crumbling. And so this is a really exciting time. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a more exciting time in history. And I really don't know because, number one, I can't trust any history. I don't have any desire to read books about past history. I mean, it might be interesting, but I wasn't there. And I've learned that I can't really trust anything unless I personally experienced it. So I just come back to focusing on where am I right now? Where am I right now? Oh, there's amazing trees and flowers. I live in Thailand. There's water buffalo. There's lizards. There's, just amazing waterfalls and clouds and trees and mangoes and coconut and music. And I focus on that. And anytime my frequency drops, I've trained myself to feel it, to notice it. And if I get triggered or I go into judgment, I immediately stop, take a breath, because otherwise the story will just run. Oh, these fucking people do this all the time. Blah, 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 blah. And I can feel that frequency. So I stop and I breathe and I go, okay, what is this trying to show me or teach me about me? Well, number one, I allowed myself to get triggered. So I'm going to thank that, whatever it was. This is key. When you can really thank those that trigger you, now you're aware. Now, this is self-mastery. Well, I can't really forgive them. Any lack of forgiveness keeps you in 3D. I'll say that again. Any lack of forgiveness keeps you stuck in 3D. And you will keep attracting people and events and timelines to give you an opportunity to heal that and clear it. But if you don't understand and you haven't come across these tools through myself or anybody else, then I'm doing my best to keep up with the comments and keep my train of thought too. Paul was saying, how about explaining how it's tied to frequency? Yeah. And then he's like, I just did. So yeah, I love it. Cool. So yeah. All right, now I got to get back. Bring me back. Okay. Thanking those that trigger us. When you can thank those that trigger us, because in reality, they're just you. That was a big one. When my teacher, Don Miguel Ruiz, told me, Jeff, everyone is you. And my mind was going, what? How could everyone be me? Even the bad people, the pedophiles, the murderers, whatever. It's like it's a hologram. That doesn't mean that you're them, but they're giving you an opportunity to observe instead of judging. Observation is a heart-based frequency. Judgment is a very low-based 3D frequency. So the whole name of the game is heal first. The first part of this whole process is inner healing. You can't move out of 3D unless you heal. You can't. You can study all the books on spirituality. You can go to India and do yoga, and put your legs behind your head and everything else. And some of the most judgmental people I know have spent years in India. And they can recite all the things that Swami whoever said. And Hey, dear one, great to see you. Sent you a message last night. I was thinking of you. So the key is Catch our triggers. That's it. Catch our triggers and be in excitement as much as possible. And know that that is the highest magnetic frequency: excitement, gratitude, joy, curiosity, wonderment. That's it. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Yeah. Anytime we look at things as separate from us, we're disconnecting from source. Yeah. It's all us. It's all us. And again, that can trip you up if I say that. If you go, well, I'm not the bad people, I'm not the murderers, I'm not the, reptilians in government, I'm not a pedophile. I get it. Yeah. So understand, and this one can be deep, that for whatever reason, and I can't explain it because I know nothing, I just track frequency. And the frequency tells me, forgive. They must be playing their role. Look at it this way. Let's look at this possibility or reality or whatever. For thousands and thousands of years, we've been enslaved through fake governments and fake kings and queens and all this bullshit. Okay? So, all of a sudden, in 2012, 2000s, whatever time it is, it doesn't even exist, everybody's waking up. Okay? Why are we waking up? Because the deceptions were pushed into our face so strongly that we had to wake up. Now, some of us came in here awake already. I get it. However, I'm talking about why are we seeing, pedophiles and, reptilian doctors pushing the jibby jab and all this stuff. It's so in our face that it's got to wake people up. And yes, there's going to be some casualties, unfortunately. But again, we don't know what anybody else's soul contract was. We just have to understand that it's perfect. So that's my best take on why is this stuff happening. But again, it all comes back to, do you have the awareness to go, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? I don't like it, but I'm not going to allow it to suck my frequency and pull me back down. I'm going to stay in my heart, and I'm going to trust that for some reason I can see things that other people can't. It doesn't mean I'm any better. That's ego. It's just, I see the game. Here's the tools, and I'm going to practice them every single day, and I'm going to consciously create my reality every single morning, first thing when I wake up. Who's not doing that yet? And I don't mean to single you out, but a lot of people watch these transmissions, and they might be scrolling through Facebook at the same time. They might have a couple tabs open and be listening, because I know sometimes I go for an hour and a half, okay? Just because I have a lot of energy and I want to give the whole download so it doesn't take somebody else 20 or 30 or 40 years to figure out these tools, okay? And I keep going over them twice a week, because when my teacher was telling me and telling us, this small group of people in San Diego, these tools, my mind was going, that's really good. But in many cases, I still have the subconscious belief running down here that I'm still not good enough. I don't like myself. Whatever. I still had my wounds, my pain from childhood, what happened to me, my story of my soul contract that I agreed to, keyword, agreed to before I came down here to learn. So now at this point in my life, all that stuff that was pain and suffering, instead of fighting it and judging it and being pissed off and wanting to commit suicide, I went, well, shit. If I'm not going to commit suicide, then I got to figure out how this reality works. And I see some clues because I see some other people that are really living in a high frequency, and they seem to have figured out something that I don't understand. So I'm going to study and I'm going to ask questions. And once I figured out that my belief system wasn't even mine, that it's actually a tiny, 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 tiny little prison. And if you haven't figured this out yet, it will be one of the greatest, most mind-blowing, expanding things you will ever do. And if you do not figure out that your belief system is a prison, you will never, ever go beyond it. Ever. Look at Look at where people are in their life, not from a judgmental standpoint, from an observational standpoint. They are creating the reality of exactly what they believe they're worth, whether they believe money comes easy. Some people, money's flowing all the time. Didn't used to be that way for me. Now I figured it out. But you can see what somebody believes by, number one, how they tell their story, and they'll just keep creating more of that. So this belief system, that's the second part of waking up in the dream after the inner healing. And it's really simple. If you go through the process, you print out the daily tracking sheet that's included in the book. It's a PDF. You download it right away. And you start to ask yourself these questions at night after dinner, right before you go to bed. It takes you 5 minutes. And you track how many times you went into judgment, how many triggers you had. And if you don't track this and catch it, you'll never dismantle it. And this is what, I love you so much. Wow. How wonderful. Thank you for that beautiful reflection. Yeah, I'm pumped up right now. And I'll tell you what, I do 2 of these a week. And I go over the same tools. So I wake up in the morning and I go, what am I going to talk about today? You talk about the same stuff every time. I'm like, I want to make it new and interesting and exciting. So I wake up early and I print out all my notes and I'm like, and then I get ready to go and hit the live button and I'm like, I don't know if I have it today. And I just have to get out of the way. I just have to go. Because if I start thinking about it, I could go into self-judgment and the whole thing will fall. So I just have to go, all right, let's do it. And when I trust and I open my heart, I just start channeling this stuff. And you can do it too. I don't have any more gifts than anybody else. I just studied this shit as if my life depended on it, because it did. And then I found out that it was really simple. It's really simple to heal. It's not difficult. If that triggers anybody, look at that. It is not difficult to heal. The difficult part is holding on to the wound and the judgment of what somebody else did to you and carrying that with you for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. I journey with people that are 80 and 90 years young. It's amazing. I never use the word OLD ever. Why? Because every one of my trillions of cells is consciously aware, and so are yours. And they're listening to and they're taking instructions from every single thought and word and emotion that you have, that you feed it, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. So that's why it's so key to do the inner healing. And I don't really like the word healing because it may make people feel like they're all messed up. But the bottom line is, when we come in to this reality and we separate from our all-knowingness, it's traumatic. And so it's just part of the deal. But I journey with people almost every day of the week. And yeah, we might have some tears on a call, or they might have to kneel down in front of their mattress on their knees and stack a couple pillows and pound out the anger. But whatever you're holding, if it's resentment towards somebody or a story of how somebody did something wrong to you or how your father abused you or how your mother was an alcoholic, you must clear that and thank them. Now, I'm not saying, because I journey with people that have been raped, molested, MK, I'm not saying you need to thank somebody if they've horrifically abused you, but the reality of it is there was a soul contract there somewhere, and you might have done this. We might have all been murderers, rapists, thieves in a past life. I don't know. All I know is frequency, and we must heal if we're going to move into 5D. That's all there is to it. So when I say healing's easy, I'm not lying. It really comes down to forgiveness and understanding that we chose whatever it was on our soul contract. And if you're not to the point where you can get behind that yet, and I'm really pissing you off, then just be open, because you don't have to believe me. I'm not the boss of you, nothing. My reality is my reality. It's just that I understand frequency and how we're creating our reality. And if you're still in pain, or you're still wounded and you're still attracting the same wrong people in life and relationships, or you're still not attracting abundance or whatever, there's a subconscious belief. It's plain and simple, because the subconscious is running the show. And this is why you can do affirmations all day long. I paid for every book on abundance, because when I grew up and my dad died when I was 7, my mom was totally in fear around money. My uncle, who was my dad's brother, he had 8 kids. Everything was about lack, 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 lack. Money's difficult. Money's hard. You better eat that last pea on your plate. There's starving kids in India. All that. Their belief was what they had learned, and so they were just repeating it over and over and over, because they didn't understand how the hologram works. So they didn't understand that I'm feeding my subconscious the message that money is difficult to come by and there's only so much. So what does the subconscious do? The subconscious, once you figure this out, it's real simple, but nobody taught me this. But the subconscious can only do one thing. And this is what's so beautiful about it once you figure it out. It can only take a direct order. That's it. There's none of this thinking and all this story and all this shit from the mind. No. The subconscious delivers whatever you feed it, and it's either here now or it's not. So this is why the part 3 of waking up in the dream is that you consciously create your reality. Keyword, consciously and intentionally, every single morning, as soon as you wake up out of the sleeping dream. Because if you don't, all those 50 to 80,000 thoughts are just going to start running again. I got to get up. I got to get in the shower. I got to get ready for work. I've only got a half hour before. I got to get in traffic. I got to get the kids ready for school. I got to do all this shit. I got to check my email. That's fine. Whatever you got to do in your life. But if you're not consciously programming your day first thing every morning, you're pretty much just going to repeat the same days over and over. It's going to be Groundhog Day every day. And so this is why it's so key to consciously create your reality first thing in the morning. And getting back to the subconscious, which can only take a direct order, your desire is either here now or it's not. It's in the future. So it's mandatory that you must feel and show the subconscious that it's here now. And this is the trick, because 3D tells you it's not here. That's the trap. But when you learn how it works, in your head, you're lying on your pillow and you're smiling after you just loved on every one of your trillion cells for unconditionally loving you. Now your frequency's up here, you're smiling, and you're like, man, I have the most incredible people come into my life, the most incredible clients. Abundance just flows into my life. I can give it away. I don't need to hold on to money, because that's what keeps it stuck. I give it away. I know there's always more coming. And life is magical. And so the subconscious feels that, and it goes, yeah, it's already here, it's already here, it's already here. And then that's what is created in your reality. So if you look at your reality and you're like, I don't like what's in my reality, then go through the tools. That's it. Go to my YouTube channel, Portal to Awakening. There's hundreds of hours of the tools over and over and over. I don't hold anything back. I don't hold anything back on my lives. I don't go, if you really want to learn the tools, you got to buy the book or do the course or come journey with me. No, I give away all the tools, all of them. I'm not hiding anything. Because if I was, I'd just be running a fear-based program that goes, if I give away this best stuff, then I'm not going to have any money. That's a fear-based bullshit thing. So yeah, I sell my book for really cheap. My digital course is under $100. It'll change your frickin' life and the way that you see everything. And if you really want to come and do 30 days with me, where we're going back and forth almost every single day, you get all the PowerPoint. I mean, we will undo your belief system wounds. It's the most life-changing thing that I know of. It's priceless, literally priceless. And it doesn't cost you priceless to do it. I make it so anybody that really wants to do it can do it. This is it. This is where we're at. It's like we must understand that we are creating all of this. And if we give our power away to somebody else and say, they're doing it and we're helpless, then there you go. Your wish is my command. So it's not about fighting. Moving into 5D is not about fighting. It's about observing, and it's about holding a high frequency of excitement. You know there's something going on right now. You may not know 100% that you came here for this and you knew that it was going to be 5D and there's going to be this huge, massive celebration very, very soon. You may not know that because I don't remember. But there's enough signs coming to me that's like, it's going down and it's good. And people are waking up everywhere. So any questions as I look at my notes here? Any questions? Hey, Brian, great to see you. Yeah, forgiveness is key. Yep. Judgment's the biggest addiction on the planet. Most people will not admit to that. I was a judgeaholic. I was taught to be a judgeaholic in Catholic school. And when I tell people that their judgments are all about themselves, if they haven't done any of this inner inspection or introspection, they're just going to go, well, we have to judge. I do posts on judgment because it's the biggest addiction on the planet, and we must clear it. Judgment does not exist in 5D. So if you want to move out of 3D, it's time to heal. Time to heal. All of our judgments are about us. So this can be tricky because you can go, what about all these people that are harming children in the government and doing all this stuff? Yeah, okay. So observe them. Observe them. But if you're being triggered into judgment, your frequency's down here, and you're just going to repeat and loop and loop and loop. And when I do posts around judgment, people go, well, we have to judge. No, we don't. There's a huge difference in frequency between a judgment, low frequency, because it's a trigger. Triggers are low frequency. And observation is neutral. So if you go, oh, isn't that interesting? That kind of feels sticky in my frequency when I see what they're doing out there. But I know that if I observe and I stay in 0 point, that's where my power lies, and I can move to any different timeline from there. I'm not pulled down into 3D. But if I don't go into judgment and I'm pointing the finger, then I'm stuck, and I'm going to have to repeat it again until the next time it comes around. You getting this? Yeah. Judgments keep us stuck. Observing is neutral frequency. I intend you find this valuable because it's life-changing. Nobody's moving beyond 3D if they're going to be in judgment and triggers and not healed. It's not going to happen. But you can heal anything quickly. And I know people come to me that have been in therapy for 10 or 20 years. And those therapists were just trained, God bless them. All they're teaching is what they knew in the book from the satanic universities, Harvard, Yale, with all the secret societies that are run by the reptilians that hijacked our DNA. Not to get dark, but you got to understand how it was created if you're going to move beyond it. And so these therapists keep these people coming back week after week after week after week. I can do one call with somebody and get to the root of their story and their wound in 10 minutes. It's not because I'm so great. It's because I understand the story, I understand the wound, how to identify it, and I understand how to clear it. That's it. That's it. And that's what they don't want you to figure out, so they don't teach it. All this is changing right now. So anybody have anything they want to clear? Opportunity right now. Nobody on this call is going to judge you. In fact, the people that ask questions on these calls are actually the heroes, because they're brave and they're vulnerable. And what's interesting is if you follow my lives, as soon as somebody asks the first question, everybody feels relaxed and all of a sudden everybody starts asking questions. I don't know why that is, but it's that way every single week, waiting for the first person to ask a question. So whoever wants to do it, there are no silly questions. If you think it's silly, or you're like, I used to sit in the dreaming weekends with Miguel and the other people, the small group of Toltecs. Toltec just means artist in Spanish. But this was in San Diego, California. And I would want to ask a question, but I was kind of afraid. And I'd hold back and I'm like, well, maybe he'll explain it and I won't have to ask. And the weekends that I didn't ask my question, I left feeling not good. But every time I asked a question and it was explained, I felt like $1 million. It was like, oh, that's all it was. Now I understand it. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I understand. But I'm going to ask again, if anybody has a question, anything about healing, anything about manifesting, anything around abundance and money, anything around forgiving somebody, anything at all, you're just helping other people that watch these replays. A lot of people watch them. What's amazing is people that aren't even my friends on Facebook, and this is why I love Facebook so much, because every single person and almost every single client, and I don't even like that word client, it sounds businessy, but people that we decide to journey with together have all come from Facebook, even if they're not typically my friends. So a lot of people are seeing these, and people send me messages. They go into my spam folder, because if somebody's not your friend, it doesn't go into Messenger, it goes into a hidden folder. And these people reach out and they go, thank you so much. I needed to hear that at the exact perfect time. And I'm like, God, what a blessing. Makes me feel great, to know that somebody's seeing this. And I'm so grateful to Facebook. Thank you. Mark Zuckerberg, George Soros, whoever created this thing to track all our shit and, work against us. But you can see all of the things that were set up to enslave us are all crumbling right now. They cannot survive in these frequencies. So you don't have to worry. Low vibrational 3D frequency. Get excited. Get excited. Every morning, wake up, set your alarm early. If you got to, go do a job or whatever, or get up to take care of the kids, set your alarm early. Go to bed early, 15 minutes or a half hour, so you can lie in bed, love on your body, raise your frequency, do some healing, and then consciously create your reality. How do you do it? You envision anything you desire, you smile, which raises your frequency, and you see it is already here now. That's the key. Is everybody on this call doing that? Doing this every morning? I intend that they are. I mean, this is the most life-changing stuff I've ever found. And I've spent well over $100,000 on most of the top 3-day seminars in San Diego, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Sedona. And they didn't teach me these 3 parts. They taught some good stuff. I'm not saying there aren't some good things out there, but you got to do the 3 pieces together. And it's not difficult. 30 days or less. Boom. You'll never see your reality the same way. Do the inner healing. Dismantle the belief system. See it for what it is. And then consciously create your reality every day. Set alarms on your phone to go off throughout the day. And when they go off, stop. And then recreate the morning process, no matter where you're at. You could be in your car, pull over on the freeway. You could be eating lunch. You could be out in your garden and just go, okay, I know that when I get present, go into 0 point and magnetize my reality, and I see my desires as already here now, I know that I'm pulling them in. Why? Because it has to. It has to happen. It's the law of frequency and vibration. It's not the hope or the wish or the trying. Those are all spell words. They all give your subconscious the exact same command. It's not here yet. It's not here yet. It's not here yet. So let's talk about spell words for a moment. It's called spelling for a reason. I hear so many people using spell words and they don't realize that they're giving their subconscious the exact instruction that it's not here, it's not here, it's not here, it's not here. And they don't even realize that they're doing it. Why? Because we were deceived and it was put into our spelling. So we're just talking. Well, I need to do this. I hope, I wish, I'm going to, I'm trying, I hope. They're all weak ass spell words. So write them down and eliminate them. When I go through this with people that go through the 30-day journey, as soon as I explain this to them in 1 minute, the next time they go, I intend. They catch it right away. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 decades or 70 years of just unconsciously speaking, and then they catch it right away. It's life-changing. Hey, Fiona, great to see you. Yeah. So eliminate want, wish, hope, need, try, hard, difficult. Write them down. Come back and watch this. It's life-changing. And if your ego goes, well, maybe I'll write them down later, then your ego wins. Because it wants to remain in its false sense of control. It thinks that it's keeping you safe. There is no control. There is no safety. It's when you let go and go, man, I'm unlimited. I'm flying through space right now. What an amazing dream this is. And I'm creating all of it with my awareness. Yeah. Fucking great. So great. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions? Thank you, everybody, for staying on. Thank you for everybody that shares these. My last thing on Thursday got shared like over 40 times. God bless you. I'm so glad it's resonating. But if you think anybody could benefit from this, any of your friends, and I don't know who couldn't, I mean, these are the tools. And to me, they're delivered in the simplest way. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to study. You just write this stuff down or watch the replay and go, okay, I'm going to do that every day. I'm going to do that every single day. Or I'm at least going to do it for 30 days and see if it works. Because I don't know if what this guy's saying is true. I've tried everything. I've read all the books and nothing seems to change. I was there. I bought all the top spiritual books, Think and Grow Rich, Abraham, all that. And I love Abraham. But Abraham didn't teach me how to go in and undo my subconscious beliefs. And I was just, I did EFT tapping. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly. I paid thousands of dollars for these courses. And they didn't teach me how to go in and undo the subconscious beliefs. This does. I mean, there's other things out there that do it. I'm not the only one. But you want the shortest, easiest way. This is it. And this is why I teach it. And this is why I share it. So any questions? Let me go into my notes here. Yeah, proclaim each morning. I am excited. Okay? And if you can't get excited, then figure out why you can't. Because excitement is the highest magnetic frequency that pulls abundance to you. It pulls amazing, like-minded people to you. It pulls events and timelines and synchronicities to you. So if you're not excited, figure out why you're not. And if you need assistance, reach out. Come do the journey. Every month, I'm doing this journey with 4 people. And the only reason I do it with 4 people is because when somebody puts their trust in me, it's not like just regular coaching where we do a call every week. Yeah, we do a call every week. But especially during the first 2 weeks of 30 days, I'm messaging people every 2 days if I don't hear from them, because I know that they're undoing decades of programming. And I'm there. I'm sending voice messages that are 5 minutes long. I'm like, all right, we know what's coming up. And it's life-changing. And they're like, oh my God, I see the program running. I watched the PowerPoint training last night, and I see how the ego defends everything, and it's trying to remain in control. And it's like, it's life-changing. It's completely life-changing. So this resonates with anybody. I mean, it's priceless. I wish I would have found out about this, 40 years ago or 30 years ago. but this will be taught in schools. And children are not going to ever have to go through 16 to 20 years of down programming ever again. They're going to learn what an emotion is, what an emotional trigger is, how to track it and notice it, and they're going to learn that their belief system and their thoughts and their words and their imagination creates their reality. Only going to have to go through 1 grade of school. And then if they want to learn how to do anything specific, like architecture or gardening or whatever else, then they go to a specific course that teaches that. Never going to have to give up 16 to 20 plus years of their life ever again to go into a system doing something they don't love just so they can have a house and a car. It's complete 100% bullshit. And people are waking up to this. So if you want to get out of it, these are the tools. And I know people that are like, well, I can't change my life. I've got 2 kids. I've got 2 car payments. I've got a house, a mortgage. Yes, you can. Unless you want to hold on to that story and be enslaved until you're 65 or 70, if there will even be retirement. And there will be, because within the next several months or year or so, the whole thing's going to bust. We're going to get our money. The whole thing is shifting right now. So again, number 1 key is, are you excited? Are you excited? And if you're not, then probably very little is going to change for you. Any questions? Nobody's asked the first question yet. Isn't that interesting? All right. All right, I'll keep going or I'll end. We're at 51 minutes, 52 minutes. Let's see what else I got here in my notes. Okay. All right. Yeah, you want to definitely practice mastering being in the state of my desire is already here. And when you can smile like that and go, and the ego's going, it's not here. And I'm going, you can go sit in the corner, Larry. I named my ego Larry. I don't know if you've named your ego yet, but I highly, highly recommend that you do. So you can begin to see the programs that it runs. And then you love on your ego. Oh, Larry, I love you. You're just trying to protect me, but we're not going to run that program anymore. Name your ego. And if you don't want to, then notice that. That means your ego's winning and it's coming up with an excuse. Nope, you're not naming me. I've already got it together. I don't need to name my ego. Your ego just won right there, and you may not even notice it. It's tricky. It's tricky. Yep. Cool. Way to go, Grant. Grant's on it. He got the book. He sent me messages. He's excited. He's like, boom, boom, boom. That's it. Get excited. Use the tools and your entire reality shifts. It's that simple. And there's nothing hard or difficult about it. Nothing. And so many people, when they hear this will completely change your life, they automatically go, what am I going to have to give up? How difficult is it? What's it going to cost? It's got to be difficult, or it can't be valuable because I've tried everything else. Well, that's a belief I invite you to get rid of, because there's nothing hard or difficult in this at all. It's so simple that even kids can do it, and kids do it. I have people that go through my 30-day journey with me, the mentorship, and then since they have kids, the kids are paying attention, and the kids have less programming, way less than the adults. So the kids are excited. And when the adults begin to track their judgments and their fears, and they begin to track it with their clicker. Everything's reversed in my camera here. And they write down their number every day. And the kids are pointing it out. Mom, you need to click. You just had a judgment or a trigger. Kids love it. They love it. They don't see it as, oh, this is going to be difficult and a struggle. No, kids are like, wow, I love this. I love this. So there's nothing difficult about this, what's so great about it. And this will be taught to children in school. In fact, I'm already journeying with somebody in Bulgaria who found me on Facebook and is like, dude, I want to help you. We need to get this out to all the kids. And so it's happening, you know, so it's exciting. So any questions? Okay. So we're basically mastering becoming the conscious observer instead of being an automatic reactor. And you can see how 3D out there, it's set up perfectly to ensnare automatic reactors. Monkeypox, COVID, everything is a trigger. Everything is a trigger. Everything is a trigger. More jibby jabs, more masks, more fear, more everything. And if you're watching the television or any of the media, then it's geared to lower your frequency and keep you trapped. Some people go, well, I can watch TV and it doesn't affect me. Really? Isn't that interesting? I love that. There's 30 frames per second that are going. Doesn't matter how aware you are. In between those 30 frames, there's subliminal messages. Guess who's picking up on those subliminal messages? The subconscious. The eye doesn't see it because it's going so quick. 30 frames. So if you think you can watch the television and not be affected, you're welcome to believe that, but they know what they're doing. And that's why the subliminal messages are in between the 30 frames. So you do what you want to do. It's your dream, but I don't go near that thing. No way, no how. So anyway, is this going to be the first live I've ever done where nobody asks a question? Oh man, I hope I can deal with that. I love it. I'm looking at my notes here. I want to deliver as much as I can. Okay, so we're basically observing, we're becoming the conscious observer, and we're not allowing anything out there to lower our frequency. We're simply observing. We can still go, I don't like that. That's definitely wrong. They're harming people. They're harming our children. They're poisoning our food, our air, our water. You know, however, we observe it and go, I know I came here and I know I have the tools to transcend this. And when I look out there and I see all of this crumbling, I'm holding my intention and my frequency in a 0 point. I'm staying in compassion for those that are being hurt. I'm observing, and I'm using the tools every single morning to consciously create my reality. Yep. So, all right. If there's no questions, I guess we're going to wrap. Again, there's 3 spots available. And well, there's 2, and there's 1 that'll be available next week for this 30-day process. Here's just one testimonial from people that they're awake, they're paying attention. They can see that, you know, what's going on out there in 3D is not, it's just not the way it should be. But this is like, I thought I was awake. This course changed my life more than any book or course I've invested in over 20 years. It gave me the tools to see programs and beliefs that were running underneath the surface that I was not even aware of. And my ego would defend and justify them again and again. This is what it does, causing the same dramas to repeat. I was able to heal deeply hidden wounds from childhood and dismantle so many limiting beliefs and subtle reactionary programs that were running on automatic. I'm eternally grateful. It truly changed my life. I mean, this is what it does. And it works for everybody. It's not like it doesn't work for certain people. If you apply the tools, and if you do 30 days with me, I will gently, and it's fun. It's not like difficult and hard and struggle. It's not that. This is what's so great about it. We actually have fun because we observe, and we can make fun of the programs. But once you see a program, it becomes dismantled. But you must be able to see it. And that's why the PowerPoint trainings are so powerful, because you see it. Once you see the program, you're like, oh my God, everybody's running that program almost. then it loses its power. And you still may get triggered, or it may happen once or twice again, but once you see it, it'll be dismantled. And the PowerPoint trainings are part of the digital online course. You can do that at your own pace, your own journey. It never expires. You can have it forever. Great stuff. So anyway, here's a link. This is a half-price link for the book. And the digital course is here. So any questions? If you've been thinking about asking a question, but you're not sure, I'm still here. And there's a digital online course link. So this stuff is life-changing. And I love sharing this stuff. So I just want to let you know there's nothing that you can't manifest. Nothing. And this comes up sometimes like, well, I've been really focused on manifesting X and it hasn't happened. This is where you use your awareness and you go, isn't that interesting? If it's not showing up for me, then I trust that it's not for my highest good. Or if that would have showed up, maybe something else that wasn't really good for me might have happened. So you just go, okay, well, if I'm giving it energy and it's not showing up, I know that there must be something better. This is where trust comes in. This is where trust comes in. And then you just let it go. If you're attached to it, then that means you're not trusting that it's for your highest good. And that's 3D. I need this to happen. No, you trust. You have fun. You consciously create your reality every single morning. And you trust. What's for your highest good will show up for you. I guarantee it. So big, big, big love to everybody. Thank you again to everybody that shared these. The replay will be on my page and on my YouTube channel. And there's the links for the half-price book, the course. Anybody's interested in doing the 30-day one-on-one mentorship with me, reach out, send me a message in Messenger, or go to the website and it'll have a little form to fill out. Super simple, very easy, just so I know what's coming up for you. What are your challenges? What do you want to clear? And what do you want to create also? A new business venture, world travel. You want to work online like I do and come to Thailand. Whatever it is, let's do it. It's not difficult. All right, big, big love from Thailand. Have an incredible evening or day, wherever you're at. And I'll be back on Thursday. All right, be well.